Alright, welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, Millennium Dawn modded playthrough of Chechnya. We are in 2049. We have a couple months, 9 months or so until maybe 11 months. 11 months or so until we attack Djibouti. That's right. Your booty. No, Djibouti. And finally start working our way towards Eritrea here. But it has been a long, drawn out process waiting for that to finish. So now bureaucratic drain is gone. We are working down Kazakhstan slowly. We need that to go so we can make it a core region pretty quick here. The resistance is draining a lot of our resources and equipment. We've pretty much made no progress on upgrading or replacing lost equipment from the war. So, still a problem. One might say even more of a problem than before the war. Yep. Anyway, we're actually getting a decent amount of political power for what we have set up, so once we get up to 111, I would say 110, but it's like all decimaled out and stuff on the indicator, and sometimes it doesn't work. So we're going to make sure with 111. Round down. Round up so you can round down. If that makes sense. Yeah, I can't wait till we're done with those. We will have finished our spy agency completely. What did we call it this time? Because, yeah, we called it Rook E. Almost rookie, but not rookie. Just Rook. English is terrible. Thinking about like rookie and rook. Now Rook is just rookie without an I. It's like who did this? And why? How did that happen? These things just are terrible. All right, so what are we finishing now? I think these actually get reduced workforce need at some point. Maybe? Maybe not. Nope, they don't. Never mind. Oh no, right there. A 5% reduction on 2 of these right there. Oh, there. Okay, so it goes 3%, 5% is a reduced need, and a 10% there, so we just need to get all those. That'll help. Does this do anything with workers or anything like that at all? Probably not. Just how much power is generated in construction speed? Yeah, nothing. Would love to have had this to help out with our army and our military. You know, I'm thinking about it. I don't think we have any real new comm sets on the US playthrough. We were just doing that with whatever we started with. But we did have spy sets. But these are all for military operations and planning. That's why my planning's so slow. Well, it's part of the reason. May not be the reason. I should clarify that. Alright, where is anti-vessel missiles? Vertical launch surface attack missiles. Surface to air missiles. Very important stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and start us out with frigate hulls as we approach the stealth frigates. No, I'm not using... I love how they're like, oh, you're looking at spy satellites? Because they're spying on me. And they're like, this is what you actually need. So they know. It's just how Google gives you ads. You know, it's just the same way. If you have a phone with a Google phone, maybe even iPhone does that, but I know Google phones do. You'll talk about something, and then 10 minutes later, you get an ad. It's may not be the phone. It could be all the like Google remotes, things like that. But they're definitely listening. I don't know how to turn that off. I probably should. Yeah, see, now I'm just getting infinite ads from China about how I need their spy sets. I don't need their junk spy sets. I'd rather use our 1965, like, steel ball in space spy set than theirs. Get off my lawn here. Oh, that's glitching out. I don't like that. See? See, what is this? The spam is unreal. Alright, let's lower our corporate tax rate again. Yep, so that's helping out quite a bit. We don't have population, so I can't build more, but I can do that. That is something I can do. Oh, they won't accept. They're all sticklers about not accepting foreign investment. Them too. What about Myanmar? Myanmar will. It's not too bad. Kazakhstan is dropping. That's good. That's progress. I don't know why. That just looks like they're moving more units into the region, possibly. This seems like it. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and get that last research slide. I don't know if I could have clicked that a while ago, but it wasn't highlighted like I could, so it is what it is, right? We have an army of yes men giving us a 15% reduction. That's in our rate of like experience. That's super annoying. Hate yes men like that. But everyone that's a boss seems to want yes men. There are very few that don't. That is what I have found. Like they say they don't want them, but then when you don't get a yes man, they always freak out. They're like, "You don't agree with me? Well, you must have a mental issue," and then they get rid of you. And it's like, no, no, maybe you have the mental issue. Think about that. The yes men thing is a problem. And I would argue that yes men will bring down the world. Not AI, not anything else. It's just going to be people that don't think for themselves. They can't form their own opinions that bring us down. So, unfortunately, Turkey right here is a yes man state of Europe. So, and Iran is too. And they're going to bring us down. That's too close. So is Israel, actually, because they're part of the Western Alliance too. I'm actually curious because there's not really a lot of wars going on. There's no current war. All right, what has happened? Alexei Navalny. This dude would be dead by now. There's no way. In 2049, he would still be alive. I don't believe it. Barkashov, I don't know. He's a fascist. He's some weirdo. Would love to do it. Don't really have the political power. Guess I'm doing it anyway. Because it boosts our party. Have to do it. It's not really a choice. It's kind of forced upon me, huh? And it looks like okay, so we do need to save up for 300 political power to actually annex the Kazakhstan region. And I'm going to have to do that pretty fast here. So 300 days. I guess building forts. Along the north sections here. And the Chinese, so definitely want, yeah, we definitely want some sort of buffer with China that's functional. And this airfield here. Not as worried about the Siberian region or whatever is up here. That's not terrifying it by any means. All right, we're going to go ahead and bump all this. And so our hunt for rare materials continues. Yeah, so Djibouti. Oh, 1 second. Get our tactical goggles. So Djibouti here actually does not have any resources, it looks like. But Eritrea has some tech metals. And then the Sudan region and Darfur region have oil. And they're not guaranteed by anyone. That's really nice. We're actually trading a lot for tech metals. I bet all of this is tech metal trade. Yeah, see this? How we're just not getting our tech metals because it's sabotaged? That's not cool. That's not cool at all, guys. Which is why we need to integrate Kazakhstan proper. And that is dropping pretty fast, so that's a good sign. Uzbekistan, though, does have some awesome materials. Hmm. We're in April. We are over the 50. Okay, so we can actually make it now. I gotta go to the city so I can spell it. It's the eel. Or not. Maybe not. Maybe we have a bunch of notices popping up all of a sudden. That's crazy. I think everything's researched, yeah, so. Fixed wing, they'll do their own thing. We've got all the pods we want. So it's all naval research from now on. Yeah, we definitely need. We're definitely gonna need carriers ahead of time. So let's go ahead and get that started. And then 6-gen multi-role carrier fighter, not the light one. You don't want the light one. And yeah, so now we're in 2049. So I gotta change the name. Chechen. See, we're gonna call it the eel, but spelled weird. And this is CVN MR1 with all these medium hard points. And a 30mm cannon. We actually want it to look cool, so let's give it that thing. I think we ended up with the blended wing form was the best. And then thrust vectoring and redundant systems with max radar. And then something like 6 or 7 engines, so 6. And we definitely want this bad boy. as a priority fighter. Yeah, so let's move that up past the stav. Keep researching sonar. Because there's really no point in making subs yet. Alright, so we got nuclear powered engines. I think that's... yeah, that's definitely enough research going on. We can switch to naval research. We definitely need destroyers too. That's the last 100 days of spy stuff. That's good. Honestly, I don't know if we need the Mogadishu. Like, it is upgrading something though. Don't know what. Alright, we did work down some of the IFVs. That's good. Not as bad of a problem, but it's still a problem. And then... yeah, we're fast approaching... the 300 political power need spot. But we have nowhere near that. What do we got here? Provided gifted unit. Does us no good right now. Thank you for that. So much thank you. Yeah, so they gave us 3 even. Hmm. Yeah, that's probably okay, but... once this maxes, or goes to 0, I guess, and we bottom it out, their autonomy, then I'm definitely shifting all that back down. I'm not gonna waste it. Just forcibly making us nationalists. Every time. That's what's happening. Alright, so we're getting technology for torpedoes. We're getting anti-sub warfare tech. So that's what we need for a patrol craft that we can't build because we do not have enough resources, period. It's a whole nother issue. In just a couple days, it dropped 100 points already, so... Pretty good. It's not bad at all. And we're what, about 150, so 6 months. So when the war starts, we should have enough to annex the Kazakhstan region. So we'll be living the large high life. Looks like we're good on equipment now. For the most part. Now we just need vehicles. We're short on most of our ground vehicles. By a ton of them. Even our anti-air surface, like, systems. Okay, so we are at 0, so I can't kick this construction down. We're gonna bump it to the bottom of the queue. And go back to making coastal forts, apparently. Cool. Where do we have low manpower? How do we have low manpower? We have 70,000 manpower. Basically. If you need manpower, we got it. Confused how we're short. Not computing, guys. It's not computing. Okay, so they integrated Bahrain. So that's Kuwait. That's Bahrain. The US directly bordering the USE in 2 spots. This is like some juicy plot twists that are going down. Cool, cool, cool. Trying to think. Is there anything like if I could actually produce ships in the Caspian Sea and then transport them through a canal that I don't know how our ships teleported through. That would be pretty safe. Other than obviously the USE and Iran territory. Oh yeah. Those good radar systems. Definitely need those. Yep. Get those built. And then right there. Can't see any more that we're missing. We even got them on our islands. So we just need these built out. Coastal fort wise, how are we doing? Doing okay. Obviously not perfect by any means, but better than not. Alright, I'd rather we build like offices or something along these. They're so non-productive of GDP. that is the last research slot finally unlocked. I think we're good. Artillery, right? We have the one researching the last thing here. Some Navy stuff. This is going to be attack subs. We just need a bunch of attack subs. Yeah, because essentially our Navy has to fight its way. Well, we can't because they control all the straits. Yeah, that would be horrible. Because we would have to take over Egypt to reopen up the Suez Canal. There's no shot we're taking Spain. But to do that, we have to take Turkey and that whole region. And the, like, Balkans. Such a weird word to say. I'm sorry, guys, but it is. It's spelled like the Balkans, but it's like the Balkans. You like all. I think that's right. I don't know how y'all say it. And then, what do we got going on? The Urals up here is the last thing I have left that I can take before I run into NATO directly. And it's just like, that's no good. And Ukraine here is not a part of any faction. Might have to justify against Ukraine just because it's the only thing that's left. So we'll get Uzbekistan, the Urals. Try for the Republic of Central Siberia, which would be good resources. And then probably Ukraine. And then that kind of is the last thing we can do. Oh, and then I do have to say, for everyone who's watching that has kept watching, congratulations, Greece is going to be the first of the next playthroughs that gets released. And then following that, it is looking like North Korea. And then after that, it'll be Australia and probably Colombia. And then we'll cycle back to Singapore, and I think the second in place was Serbia. So that's kind of the order I think that the playthroughs are going to go. But anyway, if you watch this long, that's just where that's at. Thanks for watching. Catch everyone on the next episode, as we will be starting our Djibouti war. Anyway, y'all have a good one.